Hey, welcome back to Milton Daily Homes. Chuck here. It's the Friday episode, so we'll try and inject your weekend with the excitement of 20 new listings. And so we'll start off with, we've got one on Ambrose here, and it's one of the smaller ones. So it's the Ashfield or the Cherry Hill, about 1051 square feet, 2 bedrooms. And it's basic. I mean, that's a common thing to see with these homes, is that they don't have a lot of upgrades because a lot of the people who buy these from the builder are first-time buyers on a budget, that kind of stuff. So that's the person who buys it on the next step. The little advantage with this one is that you do have some green space out in front. It's a pretty nice neighborhood. 317. It seems like these have really been hitting the glass ceiling at 320. They've been that way for a while, and I'll explain that with a couple models today. Is that they don't seem to really, they haven't been going up, and some of that is not. I don't think that's a prediction for the future, because for some of these models they went up really fast and then they just kind of stopped a little bit. So there's always ebbs and flows with different models, and it's mostly because of the pricing comparison. It's also based on the competition you have at that time when you're listed. So we got 3 of them on Costigan here. They're the exact same floor plan. I'm not a big fan of these, and I have clients who are in these. So I want to preface this by saying I have an interest indirectly in these units. But the thing is that you can't really park a car out here, so you only really have one parking space. Many of them don't have any other space except in the garage, and then you look at it, $116 on maintenance fees translates to probably more than $20,000 in carrying costs. So I don't look at this as $318. I look at it at like $338. Is that's what it would cost if you bought a home without those shared fees. And I don't know. To me, I'm like, it's better in my eyes, at least, and it's only a 2-bedroom. You go to the Mattamy Village towns without condo fees, or you go in a condo building and call it that, because you're going to get 1 car parking in the condo building anyway. So this one shows it from the back. You can see you've got the deck above, just off of the living area on the 2nd floor, and then you've got your garage below. Laundry's on the 2nd floor. There's 2 full bathrooms, or I should say on the top floor, and same price. You know, I'd probably take the first one over that one. For $5,000 more, you get something like this with I would say significantly more upgrading, better cabinets, backsplash. You've got your granite countertops. So for what they spent on this one and what they're asking, I would say if you're straight comparing across, then I'd say this one is probably the best value. And there's nice cushy Berber carpet there. So they're all within the same range, and that I don't know. I look at something like this on Willington. To me, better option, right? So you've got 2 bedrooms, plus they have a little den downstairs. 0 condo fees on something like this. Breakfast bar, very similar kitchen setup and size than the ones on Costigan. You've got laundry here. You have 2 car parking, or possibly 1 car. I think that's a sidewalk if you look in the bottom corner here. 1357 square feet, so you're getting probably about 100 square feet more. And and then you do the condo fee adjustment. To me, this one just makes a little bit more sense. I think it's a little bit high compared to what else I've seen out there. But even if this one was around 350, to me it's a no-brainer for the Costigan. So Barcrest is 400, 1,600 square feet. One of my favorite semi-layouts. It's called the Longford or Longmore. You can never remember that. 2-car parking in the driveway, and you've got some hardwood floors. Decent upgrades, not super fancy, but just well kept, clean, tidy. And bar is nice and close to Hawthorne Village Public School. You can walk to Metro and all the rest of it. Walk to Starbucks. It's a really nice floor plan. Nice sized rooms. They're all balanced. This one on Farmstead, there's been a real glut, and not many of them have sold. I sold one probably about 3 or 4 months ago, and there's really been radio silence here. This one is going to sell. I think they actually priced it pretty well. So we sold, for the record, up in around 420. They had a finished basement. This one doesn't, but it has green space, and the one we sold didn't. Nice, tasteful upgrades in here. Remember, you don't get to keep all the fancy furniture unless you negotiate it in. And you've got your walkout with the green space. Probably combines for between $10,000 and $15,000. And is this home hovering around 4 with the upgrades they've done? I think so. So this one is one of the best ones to come out of that complex in a while. Spire Circle is 419.5, and so we've got a hills view. about 10 square feet. And I look at some of these. I'm going to go back in the pictures, like taking some of this stuff off. That's like a baby blanket here, taking things away from the TV. It matters. It really does. I'll go back to the kitchen. Take that stuff off the fridge. Take the stuff off the countertops. I see this all the time, and I recommend stuff, and people think that I'm probably nuts half the time, and maybe I am, but I know what pictures have to look like, and I'm seeing everything through a camera lens. You got to be good on your photos. That's your first showing is online. So this one on Clark it's about 1800 square feet. That's a nice shot right there. You got to open those blinds up too. Bright homes will always sell for more than dark homes. That's just a fact of the matter. Stuff off the top of the fridge, things beside the fridge, they show up in photos. Nice color cabinets here. They've done some wallpapering and some nice effects. That's the winner right there. Kitchen in the basement. Even if you got $700, $800 from the basement, that probably subsidizes about $150,000 to $200,000 on your mortgage. So this is actually cheaper than even the Costigan place is, and then you have the benefits of living in a 4-bedroom semi-detached instead of that one. So the net out, and I know that you don't rent it every month and there's wear and tear. I get that stuff. Savvy investors know what I'm talking about, but this is a good deal. This one with just a normal finished basement without the kitchen is probably in a fair range. The kitchen just gives it that extra boost. They will sell this one pretty quick because there's an audience that really, really appreciates and needs that basement apartment, either for family or they want to subsidize the income. So Jervis Terrace is $455,000, $800,000. It's about 1,800 square feet. Nice built-ins, nice wainscoting and finishes on this one. They've done privacy because what is actually behind this one is it backs onto other homes. Nice upgrades in here. I think they've done a good job. I don't know if the camera and the angles really show the space here, and they're on tilts, and I don't know, like that room I think would really be set off with a nice wide angle lens. This one really is listed for around the same price as a detached home larger than this one. I mean, you can find the detached versions with the double garage in the back, patio above, 2,200 square feet for around $450,000. So it would certainly break the record for the townhouses for this style of home, the Main Street town. So Duncan Lane is $459,900. I believe this home is about between 1,700 and 1,800 square feet. California shutters here. Nice decor, nice design. So you've got a very open concept back, and so there's a walkout to the yard. I think it's a sliding door, a garden door here, and then kitchen. This room you have to be careful on scale because your couches typically are going here. There's not enough space to really block this off with a big couch and look at the far wall. Granite counters, nice upgrades in the kitchen, pot lights, that kind of stuff. I think there's better value for semis for what you're getting in terms of size and all the rest of it, but Heathwood's always command a premium, and I'm pretty sure that this one faces the train tracks too, which can it would definitely turn me off for sure. Diamond is $459,000. They've extended the driveway to go probably one car beside the other one, so you're not playing the switcheroo games. We've helped, I was going to say dozens, but I might even say more than 100 clients that have said, I don't want to do the switcheroo game early in the morning or late at night, and that's one of the main drivers for their move. You've got a front dining room, plus a family room and a kitchen here. Nice appliances. They've put the extra pantry space in. This is another model so there's 3 bedrooms upstairs plus a den. This is another model that typically has kind of stayed around just above $450,000 for the better part of a year, and I think it's because some of the larger ones have been going up a little bit, and some of the smaller ones, there's just not that many listings, so they kind of sit into this range, and they're in that sort of comfy middle part. And I know that there's going to be one that kind of springs a good sale. It's probably going to have a little bit more upgrades than this one. The grass probably needs some work, some seeding, and so on. A little bit of water never hurt any backyard. So Joyce Boulevard is $530,000. A bit of a strange curb appeal. They took the garage here and they actually put siding. So this is living area down here. This is the same idea as the one that I profiled earlier this week, and I said it's the ideal way to have parents who don't want stairs to go into the house because they can enter the basement directly from this area here. They can park their car. There's no need for stairs. You could put a kitchenette down there. The home itself they're very bold colors, and even you've got different colored cabinets here and different color siding, or like, yeah, it's bizarre here, and that drawer looks different than that drawer. I can't figure this one out. I mean, I understand they've put a lot of care and love into it. It just seems like it's a little bit of a mishmash of different styles, and I think the $530 price tag is probably going to dissuade some people from coming to have a look. Monsieur is $579. The complaint I've had with this one is that it's just kind of boring. Like, it doesn't really have anything. It's white walls. It's got a few upgrades in here, but it's not emotionally attaching anything to a buyer, and so that's why it's hung around for a little bit. Easterbrook doesn't have pictures, $624.9. The big thing with this one's a 41 by 100 foot lot, which is what you find in a lot of parts of Old Milton, so it's a nice size. Sundial built this one, plus a finished basement, and we're talking about plus 2,500 square feet. So it's got the size. If it's well finished, this one could actually be in the right range. Trudeau here is $649. It's the corner, so there's a couple different names for it. It's just over 2,700 square feet. Separate living dining is the standard style. The side door usually splits those two rooms off, and then you've got your family room plus your kitchen, and plus a finished basement. So when you compare to something like, for example, what we have on Sprout, it's a little bit higher, but it has the finished basement, but the finishes aren't as good. They're not that far off, but they might be a little bit high. Same thing with this one is that you've actually got a 2-bedroom basement apartment down below, which could really benefit a buyer that really wants that. So Quinlan Court, $689, is just over 3,000 square feet. And so you've got some hardwood floors here, some crown moldings. The kitchen looks okay. It's 5 bedrooms upstairs. Every bedroom actually opens up to its own washroom, which is kind of cool. And $689 is probably the right price for a decent 3,000 square foot home right now. You've got the 9-foot ceilings, all the rest of it. So this one on Homes is very similar to that one in terms of layout. You've got your front den plus living, dining plus kitchen, family in the back. The paint colors are a little bit interesting, maybe to a specific taste, but it looks like there's a gas stove here. It looks like they've upgraded the countertops, and without the wall colors, it's this one actually looks pretty decent. So it's right around that 3,000 square foot mark. Yeah, and it backs onto green space. I don't know why this one's been for sale a couple times. They never show the green space behind. It's fascinating to me. I don't really get it because that's a huge thing. It's a huge value proposition. This one on Peru Road is $749. It's about almost 5 acres, and the home itself, a little bit plain. Kitchen probably needs some updating. Most people walk in and say they want to probably do a new kitchen. I would check the plans for this section. This is an area called Milton Trails. I'd be really careful about what's happening around this home. It might be good future development potential, but there's a lot of talk about a fair bit of density here. There's the new Tremaine exit on the 401, so you want to be really careful with your research. Make sure that your agent knows about some of the things going on to the best ability. Not everything is finalized for this area, but it's definitely an area of transition. There's a lot of meetings between the old guard and the new guard trying to put up new construction homes. So just be really careful with a home like this in a transition area. So McLaren Road is the last one. We're switching over to the Oakville Milton board, and so it's got that it's got the nice sort of Campbellville estate look to it. It's a great street, nice big mature trees. It's on about 2 acres. Parts of this home are renovated. If you look at the kitchen, like you've got a really nice kitchen here, probably updated in the last 5 years from how it looks. Big thick wood moldings here with the stain, but there's some original elements. You're going to see the tiles here a little bit older. You look upstairs, that I think that's a carpet upstairs. You've got some nice dormer effects, some interesting ceiling effects. So it's not just a boring box, but you can see that there are some dated elements. That bathroom looks like it's more original condition. Pool, landscaping. You look at how much it costs to put this in. It's not cheap. Tennis court on the property, again, not a cheap thing to do. So yeah, it's an interesting one. I think it has elements of really capturing someone's attention. But how you go in a house, I've explained this to people, you go almost with a scorecard in your head and you go, wow, nice curb appeal. So the bar starts high. Okay, that kitchen looks amazing. Imagine having family over and so the bar goes high. Oh, but the bathroom needs work, and then boom, and then it goes down. And so where you end up at the end is almost like a score for your house. And the higher you get that score, the quicker you sell for more money because people have that emotional attachment. If you get probably more than about an 8 out of 10 or an 80 out of 100, you've got someone's attention. So that's the list. If you want to talk about that more, if you want to talk about how to really get your home ready, we've got a 16-page book called a room by room review, and I'd be glad to send you a copy. So just leave your information. I'll send it in the email, and we could get it off to you on Monday. So have a great day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday with more Milton Daily Homes.